This is By the Brook with David Cooke. Do you ever notice how there are a lot of voices out there telling us what we should do, how we should act, what we should be? There are a lot of moral voices telling us what constitutes a righteous person, an upright citizen, a truly loving, compassionate, kind Canadian. We hear it all over, wherever we turn, on the radio, on TV, in the newspapers, online. We hear voices telling us how to be a righteous person. The government and its statist allies in the media tell us, well, you know, the way to be a righteous, good, loving person is you just do what we tell you. If we tell you to stand 6 feet apart from everyone around you, then you do that. If we tell you you can't visit grandma and grandpa, then you do that. If we tell you to close your church while the pot shops and the alcohol stores remain open, well, you better comply. If we tell you you can't have your necessary surgery, some medical treatment that you really need, but elective abortions can continue, well, to be a good, righteous, loving, kind person, you do what the statists say. And then you hear the voices of the sexual revolutionaries who tell you love is love and we need to accept all relationships no matter how perverse. We need to accept whatever people tell you about themselves and their self-identity, no matter how absurd. We need to just accept what is illogical and irrational. A man could be a woman. A man could only have a sexual relationship with another man if that's what he says he must do. We are told that it is upright and good and loving to accept all these things. In fact, to do anything else is a sin. And then we hear from the Save the Environment set who tell us we need to eat no meat and throw out our plastic straws. Well, actually, we can't do that. We just have to use the paper straws. And we need to pay these crippling carbon taxes and set up these windmills that kill eagles because that's going to save the planet, and that's what makes you a good citizen and a good, upright person. We hear these voices, but what does the Bible tell us? What does it take to be a good, upright, upstanding, loving, caring person? We have all these voices telling us, pushing us to comply. What does the Bible say? What does God have to say? Well, we read in Ephesians 5, verses 1 to 7. Therefore, be imitators of God as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also has loved us and given himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling aroma. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not even be named among you, as is fitting for saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving of thanks. For this you know, that no fornicator, unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these things the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience. Therefore, do not be partakers with them. There are a lot of empty words that we hear from governments, from celebrities, from those who seem to have some position of authority in this world. But remember, if it's not in the Bible and if it's not from God himself, it's an empty word. If we want to be upright and good and loving and kind and caring, we need to imitate God. Look to the example of Christ. What is his definition of love? Sacrificial, pure, holy. We need to follow his rules in his book. And that's the only way that we, trusting in Christ, can be considered upright. and righteous in this life and in eternity. God bless you and have a great day.